Bills fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this is likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up, the Bills! It's not outside! It's not outside!
Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia Bills, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Told me now listen, everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we trippin', they better get out our way. Top of the table, we flippin', we on a mission. Got an unstoppable team, continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia Bills, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo.
Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Coast to Coast, your weekly podcast talking Buffalo Bills. I'm your host, Whittle 2K. We come and my co-host is Beyond 716. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it tonight. He might be overwhelmed from the Sabres game. Sabres being in the playoffs. So I don't know if he's going to make it. I don't know if he's going to be able to pry himself away from whatever he's pried to right now to come and join us. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to talk a little bit about the draft. As you all know or should know at this point, the draft starts tomorrow, NFL draft. It's the first round tomorrow. It's going to be in Pittsburgh, and the Bills' first pick, as of right now, is 26. Could go up, could go down, depends on, what the general manager decides to do. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because the head coach is different, right? We, as Bills fans, we always wondered, how much impact does Sean McDermott have on the draft? Are these McDermott guys? We don't have that now. There are no more McDermott. There's no more McDermott influence on this draft. This is a Brandon Beane draft. Now, why that's important or why that is different and why it's relevant is because if the guys that they draft bomb and are not good, it is completely on Brandon Beane. Don't tell me anything about anybody else. I don't want to hear about this is who Brady asked for. This is who Jim Leonard asked for. I don't want to hear it. This is on Brandon Beane. I think Brandon Beane's done a great job in the draft. He's been able to solidify himself as a top 5 value getter in the draft out of the GMs over the last, over his tenure. So got to give him credit where credit is due. He has done a good job in the draft. Whether that's been McDermott's influence or it falls under his resume, and we really about to see. If they land, some studs, if they grab a guy in the first round and he turns into a beast, then yes, like Beane's going to get all the credit in the world for it. If he doesn't, well, you know how that goes. The seat will be extremely warm. And right on time, welcome.
Right on time. How's
Mr.
everybody doing? So thank you very much, Whittle. How's everything going? Draft Eve. Can you believe it? We have arrived. So how we feeling, Whittle? How, as we sit here about 24 hours, give or take from now, we wouldn't be picking just yet, maybe about 26. How are you feeling overall about where the Bills may be going or not be going at this point?
I don't know, bro. I don't want to say I'm nervous, but I just, I'm not really nervous. I don't really think that this is a draft with a ton of stacked, this is not a draft stacked with a ton of difference makers. I do think that there are a few. I do think that there are a few difference makers that we may have an opportunity to get to. But ultimately, for me, the draft really starts after the first round. Like once you get into round 2, 3, then you start to see the chops. Like you start to see the GMs that kind of actually know what they're doing, the scouting departments that are doing a great job. Those are the ones that kind of figure it out, and you see those guys get a good amount of value. Because, honestly, drafting in the first round, brother, it's, if you stink bad enough, you're going to get a really good player. But if you don't, it's kind of hit or miss, man. Like your chances obviously depreciate the further in the draft you get on landing the top talent. So,
absolutely. I've been, today I spent a lot of time listening to some other opinions about the draft in general, not even just the Bills. Rich Eisen had Jeremiah on, he had Pelissano, and some of the points that I've been hearing is, for example, he said Cincinnati only had 7 first-round grades for this draft, which is mind-boggling when you think about how some of the drafts have been over the last several years. And I think this point, he said also a lot of GMs are saying maybe they only have 15 first-round grades or 12 to 15. And I think that answers a couple things for us, right? It answers what you're saying about how this draft probably starts after the first round. He said one GM says pick 15 to 80 could almost have the same value. So I think there's a couple things just as kind of setting us up for tomorrow. I think we're going to see a lot of guys go, and it could even be the Buffalo Bills at 26, that we're going to be like, wow, I saw that guy mocked at number 50, right? Or certain guys mocked because the value is just it's so tight. There's not a lot of difference between 15 and 80. So a couple things. The Buffalo Bills obviously probably want to trade down, but I don't think they're alone. How many players of that first round grade are going to slip towards the end of the first round? Couple quarterbacks, maybe. I've heard Carson Beck is shooting up the boards, believe it or not. That could be a late first, early second round pick. Does a team try to get that 50-year option for a guy like Carson Beck? It may seem crazy right now on the surface, but because there's not much differentiation between, let's say, 20 and 60, right? Ideally, the Bills want to trade down, but so do a lot of other teams. So I think that could also whittle. I think that could lead to a lot of trades from 6 to 12 or 13. I think there could be some real action this year. I feel it, especially if a guy like Love slips a little bit. Or I think, in my mind, I think he's the prize of the draft from a pure talent standpoint. Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. I'm talking I think he could be a great great. He could be a Hall of Fame running back in my eyes. I think he's got that type of skill. In my opinion, he could be borderline. Like, he's got the goods, in my opinion. But there's not a lot of guys in that draft to me that fit that mold, Whittle. I know I just stunned you with that, but so anyway. But I'm not. Maybe Hall of Fame's a little too strong, but you get my point. I think he could be a bona fide number one. Could be, a real difference maker for a lot of teams, and I think you're going to see a team reach really high, maybe as high as 3 for a guy like Love. I could see because of the grades and some of the, it's not as deep of a draft as we had. For example, remember the draft a couple of years ago where we had those 3 receivers at the top, where we were talking about the Bills even moving up with to get Rome Odunze. I mean, how deep that draft was with top receivers. It's not that heavy, so I think it could make for some action. So I think that, I think, and we see this here, just coming back to the Bills, right? I wanted to put this up here about how Bean was a good GM, and I'm on the negative side of Bills Mafia. And listen, I understand that, Albert. I want to appreciate you coming on, but I mean, you could speak to this, Whittle. I mean, you said the draft for you starts on Friday and Saturday, but Brandon Bean's done a lot of his damage on Friday and Saturday over the years, and I think that's also the mark of a really good GM. So, I mean, how do you react to that comment? I mean, I think Brandon Bean's one of the better GMs in the league. He's not perfect; nobody is, but I digress.
Well, they track this stuff. Like, it's based on so they give you like a draft value for the players you pick and kind of how they turned out, whether they turn into starters, all pros, Pro Bowls, whatever. There's only one GM that's got more value out of round 3 than Brandon Bean, and it was Les Miles. And Les Miles found Puka Nacua on day 3, found Kyron Williams on day 3.
Mm-hmm.
Their starting safety right now, day 3, they had a couple of corners. They found on day 3, some tight ends. One of their receivers, Whittington Jr. from Texas, was another day 3, late pick that I actually liked a lot. He was part of that trio with the guy who plays for the Jets now. What's his name? Gosh, his name is escaping me. But it was Worthy, Whittington, and I can't think of the guy's name. Drafted by the Colts, got traded to the Jets. It's right on the tip of my tongue too, man.
Traded to the Jets. What year was this again?
This was like last year. He got traded last year.
See how much the Jets are really.
I think it was the Sauce Gardner trade.
The 2 first rounds. Yeah.
What was the receiver's name, man?
A.D. Mitchell.
Yes, A.D. Mitchell. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the one, man. I'm getting old, bro. I can't remember these guys.
Nah, you gotta wait. Listen, Whittle. You're young and compared to me. You're okay, Whittle. You're okay in these parts. Well, I'll let you slide.
Yeah. No, but so I just look at it like, when you look at what Brandon Bean's been able to do on day 3, and I'm not going to count Matt Milano or anybody that was drafted before he got there, but Taron Johnson was a day 3 pick. What's his name? Dawson Knox, I believe, was a 3rd or 4th round guy. I think it was the 4th round, Dawson Knox. 3rd round, we got what's his name? Spencer Brown from Northern Illinois University. Like, who, what, where? You get a guy like that. Ray Davis he was an All-Pro this year, kick returner. He was a day 3 guy. Deion Walker's another day 3 guy. Christian Benford's another day 3 guy. Like, some of the guys, I mean, like them or not, some of the guys that, have been contributors for the Buffalo Bills have been day 3 and UDFA guys that they brought in. So, I just think that when you think about the job that Brandon Bean's done, I think what ends up happening is the play on the field ends up coming back and being like a negative mark towards what Brandon Beane was able to do. But like we also have to look at this to be fair and say Brandon Beane's not controlling what's going on the field. He goes and gets those players. If those players get injured or don't necessarily perform because of whatever the reason, that's not on him. His job is to get the groceries, not to make the meal. That's up to the coaching staff. So I'm just going to give Brandon Beane this credit. And I want to get back to what you said in reference to the first round grades. I have 102 players on my big board.
Wow.
And I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 first round grades. And even out of those first round grades, like I guarantee you 4 of those guys at least would be argued that they're second round picks.
Wow.
100%. At least 4, possibly more. But I like these guys a lot. So that's why I have them where they are. But I just wanted to say, like, how much do you think? I want to ask you, how much do you think the draft strategy changes because of the head coach, the new head coach, and the new defensive coordinator? Like, obviously, we got to change up some of the stuff that we're looking for. We're going from an even front to an odd front. So we're looking for a different type of edge rusher now versus what we were looking for with Sean McDermott. So how much do you think it changes?
I mean, if just thinking how it's going to work for us, I mean, we're going to really have to see, right? We've heard a lot that Sean McDermott had a very big influence on who the Bills would take. Now, but in a lot of other cases, Whittle, I'm sure in other organizations, maybe John Harbaugh had influence on Baltimore. Maybe, and we could go through all these coaches, right? Maybe Sean McVay does have influence in the Rams draft room, right? But now that Sean McDermott's gone, I do expect the philosophy change in some respects. But I do think Beane is still going to be, I think there's still that Billsy type player that the Bills look for, right? There's certain attributes that they're looking for that guys are going to really enjoy and really love playing in this market. Because Buffalo is a unique market, right? In the NFL. It's not like most. It's it's not like the bigger cities. It's not green, it's not Miami, it's not LA, it's not New York, it's not Chicago. I mean, it's a great place to play, especially if you're winning. And there's a lot of loyalty there. So I do expect some of those traits to still be a little prevalent. But I agree with Dog. That is a great question. I do expect it to change at some level. Again, maybe based on the type of skill and the type of players that we do draft. I would expect to see a change. But I guess we're really going to find out a little bit more about Brandon Beane in this respect, right? Sometimes I feel like, in general, some GMs and some coaches, they all get too much credit, sometimes too much blame, right? We don't. Sometimes that's the unknown. We just don't know who is getting the most credit, right? For example, who got the most credit for drafting Josh Allen, right? I mean, Joe Schoen made a career off of it, right? He turned that into a GM job with the Giants. Hasn't been that great on his own, right? But I guess that if that makes sense, I would expect a change, but I'm going to wait and see. I'm in wait and see mode, but I'm still thinking about the fact that you only have 12 first round grades in this draft. I mean, that's wow. I mean, that tells me a lot. And one other thing I just wanted to tie in for Brandon Beane on that. A lot of us were, of course, we wanted Dexter Lawrence. We talked about it a lot on this pod. We talked about maybe them go for Max Crosby. I just don't think the Bills' 26th pick had that clout that it usually does, considering this draft, right? So you just said only 12 first round grades. I mean, going to 26, a lot of GMs are saying, if I'm trading one of my best players, like if you're a Giants GM and I got to go to my org, and I got to go to my owner, and I got to go to my fan base and say, yeah, we got pick 26, but this isn't a great draft. It's not going to really do a lot for us. Pick 10 could give us, what we want. So I really can't get on Beane too much. I mean, what would have been the comp, Whittle, right? Probably 2 firsts and a third or more. Probably match what Cincinnati did with pick 10. I mean, it could have been that rich.
Yeah, it would have been 2. It would have been 2 firsts and a third. That would have been.
And there's no guarantees that the Giants even do it at that point, right? So I can't really get too much on B in that respect. I just thought that, but I thought that was a great question. Um, but I do expect that the DNA to generally be the same. But we're going to see. I mean, we always talk about getting more demons on defense, right? Guys that, like CJ Gardner Johnson. I love that move. Like, would we have done that under McDermott? I'm not
No,
sure.
absolutely
Probably
not.
not, right? So, but I thought that's a good change. I'm excited about that move. I mean, you and I, that's probably maybe my favorite move of the offseason so far.
Right.
So we're going to see if we see that a little bit in this draft. And I want to see the Bills do a balance, right? I do want them to have players that want to play here, but if I got to take a chance, take a chance. Take a chance on a guy that's talented, right? That maybe has that demon in him. I'm willing to do that, and we're going to see it all after Saturday.
Yeah. So my next question. Well, the next thing you brought. I mean, you just brought up the whole thing with Dexter Lawrence being traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. How much do you think that any of the moves that are taking place outside of One Bills Drive affect what we do on draft day, if at all?
I mean, I don't think it should have a little effect. I mean, you don't want to be the kind of team that chases. The thing about the NFL, I've always understood, Woodall, if you think about a lot of the great teams over the years, right? Let's talk about the greatest show on turf, the LA Rams. Why am I talking about this team? They set the trends. They didn't follow them, right? Remember, New England was like that first team to say, hey, let's get two great tight ends. I mean, Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski. That was something we haven't seen before, right? They were always a little bit ahead of the curve, right? And then maybe some teams like Philadelphia recently said, hey, we're seeing a lot of defenses being built to stop the pass. Well, we're going to switch it up and be just a beast in a run game. And that led them to a Super Bowl. So I think it's really just about staying a little bit ahead of the trends and not following too much. Say, okay, Cincinnati got this, so I got to react to that specifically. I want a team, and this, Whittle. There are certain principles and certain things on defense that stand the test of time, right? You have you have a great pass rush. You got a excellent front four where you could drop guys in the coverage. That I don't care who you're playing, that's going to work, right? If you have a sound defense. So I'm really more concerned about fitting the right guys into Jim Leonard's new system that Jim Leonard can get the most out of, because I believe in Jim Leonard. I believe in this organization. I really do. I believe we have the pieces, Whittle, to get to where we want to go. And we are so close. So close. And sports is it's really like this. I mean, the margins are thin. I mean, they are very thin, really. The difference between the Bills and, say, the team in the middle of the pack is not as much as people think. It is a difference, but it's not like college where you have a Rutgers compared to like an Alabama, right? That's a pretty sizable difference, right? But in these cases it's not. So I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think that would that change your mindset if you were GM of the Bills? Like, you saw them make a big move for Lawrence? No.
Let me say that I don't think that your draft strategy should change. I do think you should prioritize certain positions, though.
Yes.
Knowing that Dexter Lawrence is going to be with a team that we could potentially see in the postseason, you want to ensure that your interior offensive line is solid. You want to make sure that is not a weak point, because we've dealt with when it comes to Chris Jones over the years. So you want to make sure that that's not a weak point. I would 100% start to look at these offensive guards in the draft and say, I feel like we're okay where we are right now, but if something happens, whether it's injury or just whatever, do we really want to just go into the season with what we have, or could we improve this position with a guy in the draft, especially because when you look at the draft, I mean, what positions do we absolutely need, right? Like, do we really need a safety? Probably not. It'd be nice to get one if the right one falls to us. Do we need a corner? Probably not. We could probably grab a vet. I know Trey White's still out there. We could probably grab somebody and make that happen. Linebacker, I think, is a need too, but you don't want to overstretch yourself because there are still linebackers, veteran guys that are sitting around waiting for the right opportunity. And I think you could take advantage of that on draft day by focusing where you can't find better in free agency. Like, you're not going to get an interior offensive lineman much better than what we already have on the roster that's available right now. They're just not out there. And if they are, they're going to cost you, a premium amount of money because of how scarce it is. So that may put interior offensive linemen someplace closer. Wide receiver. You did fine by trading for DJ Moore. He's the one now. You've got some other guys, Palmer, Coleman, who you expect to produce a little more than they did over the last year or so. Do you have to go get a receiver? No, because you could still go out there and get Brandon Cooks. He was fine last year. I thought Brandon Cooks was solid for us. You could still attack that area in free agency or later on in the draft. You don't have to prioritize. I don't think you have to prioritize that position now after the trade for DJ Moore. But there are other positions that you're gonna need help. You're gonna need help at linebacker, I think. You're gonna need help at defensive tackle because we don't have the correct body types for what we need to do. And I think you're gonna need help at the edge spot because you want to you don't have I don't believe that you have the talent level at that position to withstand injury or poor play from a play. You don't have it. So I think you have to go out and get that. You have to prioritize some of that stuff. So the other move that that we have to pay attention to is the announcement of the trade for AJ Brown to the Patriots. That is pretty much official. It's going to happen June 1st, where he's moved from the Eagles to the Patriots. This is a move that we thought was coming for a while. They finally announced it. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm fine. Like, I mean, he poses more of a threat because I think Drake May's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. However, based on the way May looked last year, especially in the playoffs. If you speed his clock up, he makes mistakes. A bunch of fumbles. He will throw an interception. He will throw that ball in the harm's way if you speed him up. And they've had issues on that offensive line. So if we can figure out a way to get home and get pressure on him, move him off his spot, turn him into a runner instead of, he's a heck of a runner as well, but turn him into more of a runner than a guy that's going to stand there and pick his spot downfield. I'm good. Like I'm okay. And we still got Christian Benford. So I like if Benford's on AJ Brown, I don't mind that. I'm fine with that. That's what you're paying him to do. You're paying him to take on number one receivers. Here's the number one receiver. Go do your job,
No, absolutely. It is an impact move for New England. We can't kid ourselves in that respect. I do think, from the Philly point of view, a little bit like Stephon Diggs, I don't think it's going to crumble that organization. I think there's still enough there where they could rebound from it. They could kind of learn from the Diggs trade on their side of things. I mean, if this is a guy that just really wanted out, you got to do what you got to do, right? You don't want a guy like AJ Brown to not produce the way he should, but you could also they could turn that into multiple picks, which the Eagles are going to need, because I think they're going to be start to rebuild on the fly here with some of the cap problems they're going to have too, upcoming in the next couple of years. But from New England side, yeah, I mean, it does move some of their other receivers into better positions, a little bit like DJ Moore's arrival does for the Bills, where it moves some of our guys into better positions. So yeah, as far as Drake May goes, I agree with you, Whittle. There's some things I got to see more before I'm not crowning him as a great quarterback yet. Could he be? Sure, he can. I think there is a real shot that Drake May could be one of the best, most top quarterbacks in the league for years to come. He's got that real possibility. But just like even with Josh Allen after his first real breakout year, I always said you got to see it twice. Expectations are going to go up for them next year, Whittle. New England's going to get a tougher schedule. New England's going to be more in the spotlight this year. They're not playing on Sundays at 1:00. They're not, how the Bills have all these primetime games. New England's going to be out there again. And, New England's going to have an interesting year, Whittle. I mean, they're going to have all that little receding stuff swirling around too of Vrabel. Don't think that's not going to be a factor. I really think that's a big start. Listen, I don't care what people do outside their, what they do for a living. They can do whatever they want, but we all know that's gonna play a factor. But yeah, I mean, does it make New England better for the now? Sure, but there could be other factors where I don't think this is going to take them to a better record than last year. They may be 11-6 and a better team than last year, if that makes sense. But they still had a lot of breaks to get along the way. But it may be odd for them to say they could be an actual better team. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of the people that don't necessarily agree with everybody saying, New England's going to have a fall off year. But I don't see it, man. I still think that they're going to be a really good team. I think the division hinges on if we can beat them or not. So.
Yep. Hey, Whittle, we're just going global. We have a Russia fan now here. How about this? I mean, we are just moving all over the country. Hey, all over the world, Whittle. That's good. We're going, Whittle. You're gonna become a global sensation and keep this up, man. We're hitting all these countries. So
not
So in a good way, Whittle. In a good way. We do have a question here. I thought I'd like to get your opinion on this. Caden Proctor falling so far in the box. I mean, not that we're really going to be in the market for him, but just one.
I'm not sure. I think that there are some. I think that there are some length issues with Proctor that that might be part of the reason why he's fallen a little bit. Let me look, because I'm be honest with you, bro. I'm not really tapped in too much on Caden Proctor because
sure,
we don't need tackle.
Exactly.
Like, we don't need it at all. So I don't know. But let's see. All right, 6, 7. I don't know. That's weird. Looking at his,
but this could also be. I mean, thanks for Welder's Fence for the question. I mean, it could also be draft banter. I mean, we see this all the time, right? There's games out there being played by GMs, and I think this year more than ever, I think we're going to see a lot more of it, just because of what you said earlier about the lack of first round grades, about how from picks 20 to 80, this is still a very good draft in some respects, but it's that immediate impact that the Bills are looking for at 26. Whittle, is there a player? This is just about the Bills. Is there a player, let's say you're at 18 or 19, right? Let's say you're sitting there and you tell yourself, man, Bean, this might be a perfect year. You said we don't have a lot of holes. We don't have a lot of things to fill. Is there a player that maybe out of the position we need, that you would say I would go up there, maybe pay that second next year, maybe some other pieces to get up there and get that guy? I mean, I'm not talking about going to the top 10 or anything crazy, but talking like around 20, 19, 18. Is there a certain position that you would at least address if that first round grade fell? Or are you thinking, no, just stay at 26 no matter what? Or go down?
I don't think you can afford necessarily to move up, but if the opportunity presented itself to get a guy like Jordan Tyson, I'd do it. I'd move up.
Gotcha.
If for whatever reason, Ruben Bain fell or,
Gotcha.
Something like that. Like if one of those guys were to fall, then yeah, I wouldn't make that move. Listen, if Dylan Thieneman gets past the Vikings, I think you got to consider
I got a little
Rodman over Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, we're talking prime.
I don't know, man.
Yes, I'm taking D-Rob.
I don't know, man. Rasheed Wallace was a bucket.
Hey, listen, I'm not hating on Rasheed. He was a great one.
Yeah, he was a bucket.
Was a great player.
Man. He's definitely a bucket.
He really was.
That's a tough one.
That's what I would go with. But that's a good question, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think Wallace would. I think Rasheed Wallace would absolutely destroy. I don't want to say destroy Rodman. I think he'd give Rodman the work. I think he would. Well, we lost Beyond for a second. He'll be back. But just getting back to Kane Proctor. So I'm looking at his scout report, and they're talking about his issues with the run game. So there's some issues with him with running the football. But I don't think Kane Proctor's falling that far. If he does fall out of the teams, he's gonna go to Cleveland. Cleveland will pick him up. Cleveland's got a couple first round picks. They'll grab him. And if not, like I think Houston should come up and grab him. They should take him if he falls to him, but I don't know that they will, but they should. But back to what we were discussing with the first round grades and things like that. I think obviously everybody's board is different. That's clear. Every team's board is going to be a little different. Now, there's some consensus guys, obviously. I think David Bailey, consensus guy. Caleb Downs, Sony Styles, consensus guys. Those guys are consensus players. I don't even think the receivers outside of Jordan Tyson. I think Jordan Tyson is the best receiver in the draft, but I don't. Outside of him, like I'm not as high on Carnell Tate as like everybody else is. I think Carnell Tate's cool. Do I think he's worth a top 5 pick? No. Do I think he's worth a top 10 pick? Not really. Not really. I mean, he's cool. I don't think that. I think he's a wide receiver too, at the next level. I don't see him as a 1. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is going to be a dominant X at the NFL level. I just don't see it.
Yep.
But yeah, I have 102 players on my board for the Bills. Obviously, not all of the top talent is there because we don't have a shot at getting those guys. But out of the guys that I have, I mean, I only have really 8 or 9 guys that I'm comfortable putting first-round grades on. A couple of the other ones are first-round grades because I just like the player more so than the consensus around the country. But my question to you, let me ask you, Whittle, do you have a first-round grade on? Yeah, I have a first-round grade on Concepcion. Now, and the reason why is because I think Concepcion does a really good job of getting open, and I think he understands where. I think he understands. I think he has great spatial awareness. He understands where to sit down, when to make himself available to his quarterback, and also at the catch point. Even though he's small, like he's like 5'11", $170, I still think he's like really, really strong at the catch point. Reminds me a little bit of Smitty from Philly, from Devonta Smith. It reminds me a little bit of him. I think KC's a little more. I think he's a little more shifty in the middle of the field. I do think that Devonta Smith is his hands are. I think his hands are much better, and he's a much better tracker of the football. But I think KC's pretty good at tracking the ball as well. But he has some drop issues with easy stuff like wide open, the ball's in his hands, and he's trying to figure out who he's going to make miss at after he catches the football and he drops like simple stuff, curl routes. He drops the football because he's not fully locked in, whatever the reason is. He's had some drops, but I don't think that it changes how explosive he is. I don't think it changes how dangerous he is after he has the ball in his hand. And I don't think it changes how he can be used. I think he's good. I think he's definitely one of my first round grades for receivers.
I agree.
But let me ask you, Beyond.
Yeah, well,
we got 26.
Mm-hmm.
Do you stick or do you trade?
Ideally, I'd love to trade down. But the thing, it's kind of funny. I was just reading a mock draft from Lance Zierlein, and I would love this one, Whittle. They have Arizona. He has Arizona moving up to get our pick, and they take the best off. I think they take an offensive tackle instead of the quarterback, Ty Simpson. Listen, offensive tackles are getting very expensive. The fifth year of those guys are going to be very valuable as well. Yeah, I know everybody talks about the quarterback, but Arizona still may be able to get their guy later. But that would be a dream scenario. Like if we get down to early second round and we pick up maybe another third on the way or some other picks, I think that would be very ideal. Like I hope the Bills are not picking on Thursday night. I'm going to tell you the truth. I want them to pick on Friday. That I'd feel much better about where they are in that case. I don't anticipate the Bills trade this pick for a now player or now roster player. I think that ship is kind of sailed. So I would say ideally that's what I like to see. But there's a real chance we stay at 26 because, again, I believe a lot of the teams here in this little spot, 25, 26, 27, are going to look to trade down. But the good news is we're ahead of a lot of those teams that really got to look for that. I mean, Seattle is picking at 32, for example. They're notorious for trading down, right? Kansas City has always been pretty active too. The Jets are sitting there at 28, so maybe someone's going to look to get ahead. If somebody wants that quarterback, maybe they do try to get ahead of the Jets right there. Maybe the Bills will be that team that will say, we'll make this happen for you. We'll accommodate you. So I could see that happening. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But what about you, Whittle? I mean, I'm definitely really, really praying for a drop down, but
I'm only staying I'm only sticking at 26 for two players. That's it.
Yep.
If those guys are not there, I'm trading down. Three players. Let me stop.
Mm-hmm.
Three guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only staying for those three. If they're not there, I'm trading out. That's
trading out.
Yeah. But I don't think those. I think those three guys are guys you can't pass up on.
Dog's gonna ask who are these
since
three?
You asked, those three guys would be Casey Concepcion, Caden McDonald, the defensive tackle from Ohio State, and Dylan Thieneman. Those are the guys. Safety from Oregon. So I mean, if it's not KC, and honestly, like I like KC. I do. I think we'd be fine getting a receiver in the second. I think.
Yeah.
I actually think the best, like my best. I don't think Messidor is going to be there, bro. And if Messidor is there, you stick and pick there as well. That's another guy. Yeah, like those. I'm looking at my Casey Concepcion, Akeem Messidor, Caden McDonald, Dylan Donovan. Any of those guys are there, you stick and pick.
Yeah.
If all four of them are there, you're definitely sticking. You're sticking unless you're trading down 3 spots. 3 spots or less, because you want to get one of them. You want to get at least one of those. You want to get one of those guys. I think if Messidor is there, absolutely you take him. If Dynam is there, I would take him as well. But I think you can get really good safety play later on in the draft as well. So I'd probably trade down. Caden McDonald, I'd take him.
Yeah, I like Caden
McDonald. McDonald. And then if Casey's there, sure. If Dynam is there, sure. Unless the trade is something ridiculous that I can't say no to. Yeah.
Now, would you?
Real quick, want to address Michael's question. Mike had a question.
Oh yes.
What do you guys think of Caldwell? 6'5" receiver that ran a 4.3 40. I like him, man. He's a big guy. He can catch football. I don't see a lot of wiggle in his game. He's kind of a vertical threat. I'm not overly impressed with the route running. That's not to say that I think he's bad at it. He's a vertical guy. He's a really good vertical guy. So I'm fine with it. I don't have an issue with him at all.
Now, Whittle, your 3 guys that you named, how we a little bit similar to the Dalton Kincaid trade that we made a couple of years ago that we didn't love, of course. I'm not talking about him specifically, but I'm talking about the fact that we moved up 2 spots to get him. Would you do that? Let's say, for example, of the 3, there's one guy left, one that's sitting there maybe at 24, and a team reaches out to you, says, "Hey, we can make this happen for a reasonable price." You could go out there and get Caden McDonald as an example. That's a guy I share a very strong sentiment with you. I really like for the Bills. Would you still do that, or you're just saying, I'm just going to stay at 26, or that's it? Like, is there a threshold you would go in the draft to go as high to get those guys?
I'm staying at 26 for him. I may move up for Messidor, but I'm staying at 26 for McDonald because yes, I think McDonald. I think there's a big drop off at defensive tackle after him. I do, based on what we need. Like we're not looking for a 3 tech. We're looking for a 1/0 nose tackle type player that you can stick on, in front of a center and possibly 2 gap or just anchor and allow and keep your linebackers clean. I think after McDonald, there's a drop off. There is a drop off of those players. Everybody after him has issues, whether it's arm length or weight issues or motor or technique or overall size, whatever it is. Everybody has an issue. So I'm probably not going to move. I'm probably not going to move up for Caden McDonald because, honestly, how much is he going to play?
True. Yeah, that's true.
You're talking about a guy that's going to get, 30, 35% of the snaps? Tops?
Yeah.
We're talking, we're talking 2 years down the line. What is he getting? 45, 40?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yep.
True. Because you're going to give a good amount of snaps to Deion Walker. You're going to give some, you got to make sure TJ Sanders is on the field. You're also going to make sure Ed Oliver's getting reps. So Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of sticking at 26. I may move up
Hmm.
a couple of spots to ensure I get Messidor, but I'm
Hmm.
not moving up for KC, even though I think it'd be a great story to get him. And I listen, it's not just a great story. He's a really good receiver. He gives you something on special teams. Um, yeah, and with him being from Rochester, I think it's a great move, but
Yep.
it's definitely a feel good move. But yeah, I think McDonald is tough. I think he's tough.
Absolutely. Yeah. So right now would be about 9:49. We'd be getting close, about 25 hours plus. So the Buffalo Bills may or may not make their first pick in the first, 26th pick overall in the first round. Again, it feels kind of weird this year with the draft because usually we have maybe a glaring need in particular, or there are a lot of great options at 26. And like Whittles illustrated, there are a few, but we just really don't know if they're going to really be available. Uh, just this draft is going to be, I think this draft is going to be one of the most unpredictable ones we've had in a long time. From a point of trades, I do think we could see more. Now, I know a lot of GMs, a lot of pundits have talked in the past about, oh, it's going to be wild. We're going to get all these kind of trades. I don't feel like we're hearing that this year. That's exactly why I think it's going to happen, right? I don't feel like we're
Yeah.
hearing it. So, and like I said, just the fact that there's so many really good players are very interesting prospects, and the grades are going to be so different for a lot of these GMs and organizations. I think it's going to be like, yeah, we're going to be sitting there at pick like 28, 29, and we're like, wait a minute, what? I had that guy number 63 on my board or something. So I definitely think that's going to happen at least once or twice tomorrow night. And we'll make for an interesting second round. So ideally, I would love to see the Bills out of this pick. So we will see exactly what Brandon Beans got cooked up in the post Sean McDermott era. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
100%, man. 100%. I'm looking forward to round 2, day 2 of the draft. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm probably not even going to stay up for the Bills pick because I don't think we're picking there. It wouldn't shock me if Caden McDonald and Casey Concepcion and Dylan Donovan and Messidor are all gone before pick 21. 20.
Feels like Dylan Tyneman's, it's just like everybody's mocks got him going to Minnesota at 18.
Yeah.
Feels like everyone I read feels like a natural fit. They need a replacement there. It's a shame. I agree with you. I really like him a lot. But with him or Brian Flores, that could be a really nice pick. But again, stranger things have happened. You never know. I think Dylan Tyneman could go earlier. I mean, we've been seeing safeties go a little bit earlier than usual lately. I mean, we saw your guy Nick Eamon-Wardy, right, last year go to Seattle at 14, if I remember correctly, and Super Bowl champions were smart to make that move.
No, he went in the second round.
I thought he went number 14 overall. I could be wrong.
No, he was the first pick in the second round. He was the first pick in the second.
All right. I'm thinking something else. Maybe I'm the one getting old. Well, see, I told you. Maybe it's me.
Who did Seattle take in the first round last year?
2025. Yeah, NFL draft
I don't even know
results.
if they
Let's
picked
see.
anybody.
I feel like they moved out for some reason, but
I think they.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they. No, they did. They took Gray Zabel last year.
Oh,
they took,
that's
Zabel,
right.
the,
You're right. Yes.
They took Zabel,
Okay. All right, I was mistaken. Okay, you're right.
No,
I don't know
brother.
why I was
They
thinking
took
he was
Zabel,
14.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah. Looking at this
They
draft
took
last
Zabel and
year,
and then they took Eamon-Wardy in the second round.
Yep.
Yeah,
you
man.
You think if Tyreek Williams did fall to us last year, we take him over?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They would have took him, and then we would have probably taken. I don't know what corner or what other corners. We probably would have taken my guy, Trey. Gosh, I forgot his last name now. Jesus.
Who's this now?
Trey Amos. Trey Amos.
Oh, your
Probably
guy
took
Amos.
Amos
How can we
last
forget
year, man.
Amos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we would have traded up and gotten Amos.
Yep. I agree with Alan. There's something, like I said, about this draft. Like today, it kind of hit me. It's like, yeah, tomorrow. Like I get excited just right around now. Once we got on here on the pod talking the draft, like I love the whole anticipation of it. So I'm always excited for it. There's still that build up, even if the Bills aren't picking the 26. It's a lot of fun. I haven't been to a draft live since 2002 for the Bills, and we took the infamous, the one and only Big Mike Williams, number 4 overall, offensive tackle from Texas. Yeah, so but it was kind of fun to be there. But then it was a little more of an intimate setting. So, unlike now where it's massive crowds and craziness. So it's in Pittsburgh, right, Whittle? That's where the draft is tomorrow night. Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume
there was no way the Bills were getting Kenneth Grant last year. Way too many teams ahead of us. Grant went really, really early.
I think the Dolphins got him, right?
Yeah, the Dolphins got him. He went way earlier than what I expected him to go. He went to teens. But I mean, we could have got Jordan Phillips last year from Maryland. That would have been a nice little pickup, a defensive tackle. But they would have they decided to take Landon Jackson, and here we are.
Yep.
Landon
You see
Jackson.
any big surprises tomorrow? I mean, doesn't even have to be Bills related for the draft tomorrow. You got something that will stun, like really surprise. Any big
I think Thibodeau will be traded. And if I'm being completely honest, I think he might get traded to the Chiefs, bro.
Oh.
I think the Chiefs may end up getting Thibodeau tomorrow at the draft.
Oh,
I don't think Ed's getting traded, man.
Dog puts out a shocker. Ed Oliver traded. Oh boy. Jeez, dog, I wasn't prepared for that. You got to prepare me for those things. I wasn't quite ready for that.
I can't see that, man. Ed was too good last year before he got hurt. I just think that they like him. I think they like what he brings to the table. And I think they're gonna give him and Michael Hoyt an opportunity to come back and put something on film before they even think about moving one of those guys. I just can't see it.
Yep.
Guys,
my shocker tomorrow, the Jets move off number 2, and somebody goes up and gets Love from Notre Dame at 2. I feel it, Whittle. I don't know what it is. I think someone's going to be wild.
Love, like, bro,
I just do. I
don't see it, bro.
You're not seeing it? Oh, really?
Love being this guy. I don't see it, man. I don't think Love's that guy. I don't, man.
I really like him. I love what I see. Again, I haven't watched him a ton. I've watched him enough to be dangerous, but I just think Jeremiah Love has all the tools to be a great, great running back in this league. Again, I'm not saying he's going to be. Maybe I'll retract my Hall of Fame stuff, but I think the running backs are back, Whittle. I think there's teams that are just looking at that as like, hey, if I get that guy for 5 years and he's premium, maybe Tennessee moves up to get him and seals the deal. Maybe Arizona. I mean, do you imagine Jeremiah Love?
Tennessee better take an offensive line. That's what they better.
They probably should. Yeah, but
they should go get somebody on that offensive line.
It is a deep draft for a line. Could they get something in the second round, third round? I mean, but you said they could get the best one here at this position. So
I just don't think that there's a ton of. I just don't think there's a ton of high quality interior offensive linemen after like the second round.
They have to do right by Cam Ward. They really do. And I still think Cam Ward could be a very good quarterback in this league. I think he showed enough and when not a lot of fans are paying attention, I think Ward showed you some flashes at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
That if you could just protect him better would be nice. That will definitely So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm like this draft is really important. That was something that I wrote down. I said this draft will to me, this draft determines how Brandon Beane is received going forward. Because I think if he hits this draft, if he knocks this draft out of the park, as far as like, just give me one top talent from the first, 2 or 3 rounds. Like if he hits on the receiver, I think Bills fans kind of worship the ground he walks on for a little bit.
Yep.
I think you can then excuse all the other draft picks that failed and just say those were McDermott guys. If he hits this draft, if he knocks the draft out the park. And I kind of feel like he will, because the best work that we've done in the draft has been in like rounds 2 and then day 3. Best work. So if that's, that tells you if we're consistently hitting on day 3 with guys, that tells you the scouting department and the GM's office is doing a good job of player evaluation, prospect evaluation. So if we can expand that to the first 2 days of the draft, I think we'll be okay. But you know what? Let's transition over to before we transition over to my top prospects list, chat, put in the chat. I mean, we got a couple of guys in there. Listening. Let us know if you would stick at 26 and pick, or would you trade out at 26? Like what do you guys what do you guys think we should do? What do you guys think the Bills should do there? And while you're doing that, I'll pull up my my thing.
All right, it's about that time.
Yes,
you all know what time it is.
Nobody in the chat is
no, yeah, and also so let us know if you want to stick with the first round or trade out, and if you have a draft crush, so to speak, or someone you really want to see the Bills draft. I mean, put that up as well if you do want to stick in the first round. Again, also want to thank our chat. Been very lively as always. We really appreciate you all. Means everything to us. We, you definitely make. And Dog has come in and said if Casey and McDonald are there, I'm in. I agree. I feel the same way as you on that. If not, I'm trading out if you can. Absolutely. And I think that's the last part's going to be interesting because you got to find the right partner to dance with. So hopefully there's enough players there that. But you know what could also happen too, Whittle? Again, we spoke about the draft grades being so different, right? So if a team has a guy that we've seen in a mock that goes at number 40 that they have at number 20, and if he's sitting there at 26, they're gonna be like, wow, I got to go get this guy. So that, you never know how that's going to go. I'm sorry, Whittle, you put up something there. My apologies. Yep, I agree. This feels like a big trade down year. So from a point of view, that's going to be for the team that wants to trade up, it's sort of a good market for them. Maybe they're going to pay a little bit less than they normally would because you're going to have a lot of teams looking to trade down. So from that point of view, it could be a little bit better to do that. To be honest, our team doesn't need a depth but a star. We'd love to see that, Albert. I agree with that, especially if he's there. I mean, I think if the guys Whittle spoke about,
I gotta disagree there.
If he's there,
I don't think the team needs a star. I think the team needs depth. We haven't lost. We don't lose games because we don't have stars. We lose games because we don't have depth. That's my issue. My issue is we don't when the starters, when the guys that we depend on get hurt, the guys behind them are terrible. They've been bad. So I'm past that. I do think that there's certain skill sets that if we pulled the trigger on, I would completely understand. For instance, if they draft CJ Allen in the first round, it's because he ran a 4.47. and he's 235, 240 pounds. He's going to be hell coming downhill, attacking the run, and he's fast enough to run with, most receivers, let alone tight ends and running backs. Like, he can run with anybody. So you want that skill set on the team to do certain to enhance what you can do defensively. I see this comment about Skylar Bell looks like Stephon Diggs' twin. I don't see that. I do think Skylar Bell's cool. He's an interior guy. I think he's a slot only guy. I watched a good amount of Skylar Bell this offseason. He struggles getting off the line from the boundary. Struggles. But, Kincaid drop and Cook drop back-to-back years. We need a star, so we don't rely on the unreliable. I wouldn't say that either one of those guys are unreliable. I mean, I would just say that in those situations, I don't know what Cook drop you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about the fumble. If that's what you're talking about, I mean, bro, like he was like held up and popped from
he was popped pretty hard, yeah.
So, he got hit really, really hard. Like most people. He said Cooks. Well, yeah, like Cooks is not a Cooks was a late season addition. That like DJ Moore's there. Like I'm confident that if put in the same spot, DJ Moore makes that catch. So I'm not too worried about that. I just don't want to have a situation where somebody gets injured and we're playing Dane Jackson and DeMar Hamlin a lot of snaps in big games. I don't want that. Like that's what I don't want.
Yep.
I mean,
by the way, Whittle, another mock draft for Daniel Jeremiah has us trading with Arizona, and Arizona gets Ty Simpson. So we're putting this into the universe. Us trading down with Arizona to pick up more picks. So I'm just every time I see that, I'm just announcing it. Hopefully it
just keep speaking it into existence, man. Hopefully it'll manifest.
It'll just happen. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We tried, right?
So So I just want to get back to the Brandon Cook stuff and the Skylar Thompson. Skylar Bell, excuse me. So Brandon Cooks, yes, that was a drop by Brandon Cooks. I'm not worried about that because Brandon Cooks is not going to be in that situation again. This time it'll be DJ Moore. I trust that DJ Moore can make that play. I think Keon would have made the play, if we're being honest. Like I think Keon would go up and get that and make the play there. I think Shakir would have made that play. I just think that Brandon Cooks is 5'9", with shorter arms, and just it is what it is. We don't even get to that point though if we take better care of the football earlier in the game. So we don't even need that play if that's taken care of. So, but the thing on Skylar Bell, I think Skylar Bell is just a slot guy, man. Like if you're not going to use him in motion to get him a free release, he's going to have a difficult time in the NFL working against press. And teams press us now. Like teams will press us because they don't believe in the wide receiver room. So whoever we have, they better be ready. And that's why, like, KC makes a lot of sense because he's very difficult to press. Like, he does a good job of, you're right, dog. But, like, KC does a good job of getting off the line. Another guy that gets off the line really, really well is very, very crafty at getting off the line, Antonio Williams. I think Antonio Williams, outside of Jordan Tyson, Cornell Tate, Casey Concepcion, Makai Lemon. I think Antonio Williams is on the same level as guys like Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston. Like I have him there. I have him right there with those guys. He is such a good route runner. His release package is so good. He switches up speed and in his routes in route running to create separation. He's got really good spatial awareness as well. Did you guys hear about Deion Walker slimming down? Don't tell me stuff like that because look, if Deion Walker comes in here at 330 pounds, it's going to get real nasty for teams.
Yeah,
it's going to get very nasty. So if that's the case, God help you guys. God help. He's going to terrorize the league.
Yeah.
But without further ado, it's done. Deion Burks is a stud too. I looked at him as well. I think he's another slot only guy. And we have a bunch of slot guys. We have a bunch of slot guys. I think we need more. I think we need somebody who can provide boundary snaps and win downfield. On the outside, like somebody who can win downfield consistently. So we'll go through. I'll go through my my top prospects. So
Let's do it.
Share my screen here.
Let's do it.
All right. I don't know if you guys are probably not going to be able to see that too well. I'll make it a little bigger.
Okay, I'm getting there. Yep, I can read it. Hopefully everybody home can. And, expand the screen. There you go. Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yeah. So I made the big board. The green guys in green are my first round grades. Yellow is day 2, blue is day 3. So for receiver, I think Denzel Boston's a first round talent. I don't know how you guys. What Antonio Williams is not 5'9". He's not 5'9".
He's 6 foot, isn't he? About 6 foot?
No, he's not. He's 5'11". 5'11" and some change. Actually, Antonio Williams is literally built the exact same way as Stephon Diggs. And that's what I think his ceiling is. I think Antonio Williams could be as good as Stephon Diggs. That's how good of a route runner I believe he is. So I think his hands are extremely solid. I think he has a good understanding of where he needs to be in zone coverage. I think he understands zone really, really well. And he creates separation through route running, not just through speed or physical attributes. He creates it with his mind. I think he's there. Like if you want to replace that level, I think that guy he can actually be that. But we'll get back to the receivers. I got Denzel Boston, I got Casey Concepcion, and I got Omar Cooper Jr. I'm putting Omar Cooper there because I know it's gonna get clipped. I'm fine with that. I got Omar Cooper there because Omar Cooper put in work in the slot heavy this year, but prior to this year, he was a boundary guy and he functioned well out there. So yeah, I'm with that. I got him there. Brazil's another one. Thanks for bringing him up. I think so. Chris Bell is only here because of the injury. If he's not injured, he's a first round guy. I love Chris Bell. I think Chris Bell is AJ Brown part 2. Like I think he's that level. I think he's that good. Like as big and as strong. He's like 6'2", like 210, 205, whatever. And he runs like a 4.45. He's extremely strong. Physical at the catch point, tough to tackle, all that good stuff. I like him a lot as well. Not the greatest route runner, but so what? Like he's big, strong, physical at the catch point. That's my guy. I like Chris Bell.
Wonder if Philly's going to take him, right?
222. Excuse me. Yeah, 222 running a 4.4. That's nuts. A 4. What? I think he ran like a 4.47 or something like that. Yeah, 222 is nuts. That's like to be running that fast at that size. That's insane. That's stupid, man. That's just ridiculous. So my top second round guys, I'm gonna throw Antonio Williams, Chris Bell, CJ Daniels. I love CJ Daniels. Like I think CJ Daniels is a dog. I think if you miss out on all these other guys and you get a chance to get CJ Daniels in the third or in the fourth, I think you jump on it and you're happy because he's very, very good. Yeah, dog, he does separate, but he separates through physical. Like he physically separates. Like he just runs by people. And then he's also good. Like he uses his body to wall off defenders and make plays. Like I'm telling you, bro, if you go watch Chris Bell, he is like he plays like AJ Brown, bro. Like he plays like AJ Brown. Not as good. Like AJ Brown in college is better than him, but like he's that. Like that's the comp I have for him at the NFL level. Who else? I think Jeremy Bernard is cool. Not really a separator, so like he's not really fast. And I think one thing that we lack in this wide receiver room is top end speed. So guys that can run are gonna automatically, get graded higher for me on my Bills big board. I got Chris Bell up there. I got CJ Daniels up there. I got Brazil, obviously. Antonio Williams. Bryce Lance is another one, even though I think he's more of a third round guy. Brendan Thompson is another one, even though the height, the size kind of scares me a little bit. He is fast though. Like he's like 5'9", 170 pounds, but he like runs like the wind. So, and he's a good route runner as well. And he's got really, really solid hands. Not a ton of drops, but he also played at Mississippi State. So, but I think Brendan Thompson is another guy. If you can get your hands on, you do. If he's there and you've exhausted, these other guys first, I would take him. Not only do you get the receiver, you can try him on kick, special teams. That speed is real. Like it's very, very real. You want to throw somebody a slant. I mean, you want to throw somebody a screen pass and get them to get up and get out of there. That's Brendan Thompson. I'm gonna move on to my. I got Jacoby Lane up here because I do think he's a solid. I do think he's a true X receiver. Elijah Surratt, same thing. I don't know. I'm just not really enamored with those guys too much. It's just me. I'm just showing them their respect because of what they put on film. Like they're cool. Just not my favorites.
Not your cup of tea.
Third round guys, a receiver. I got Ted Hurts, Jeff Caldwell. Somebody asked about him earlier. Cyrus Allen is another guy. Obviously, Zachariah Branch, Tyler Montgomery. Some of these guys you may recognize. Deion Burks. Lewis Bond. I like Lewis Bond. He's a slot only guy, small, 5'8", 5'9", probably about a $175, $180. Really, 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 really. Xavier Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I didn't. Okay, I will. I will. Thank you for pointing that out. I will. I will check.
Yeah.
I will check him out. I will check him out. I feel like I did look at him before.
We've talked about him before somewhere, either in
I
a
feel like we
space or
did.
here.
Xavier
I know
Thomas.
we have. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Albert. When I get off of this live, bro, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pull him up. Matter of fact, let me see if I have him up here. I don't see him. That's probably why, because I don't have the all 22 film on him. So that's probably why I don't have him up here. But I will look into that. Interior offensive line. We'll get into this now. I do love some of these guys. Emmanuel Pregnon is probably my favorite. I think Chase DeSantis is cool, but not really sure that we're going to prioritize that position where he's going to go. I'm not even sure we'll get an opportunity to draft him. I feel like he might go way earlier than that. Jalen Farmer, the Bills did talk to him. I think he's coming out of Kentucky, I want to say.
Kentucky, yeah. Kentucky.
Yeah. I think Schraith is a Notre Dame guy. Jaden Roberts, I like. Fernando Carmona, I think he's NC State. Technically solid player, just kind of weak. I mean, not your most physical interior offensive lineman, but neither was David Edwards. So if they want to try to like recreate that, there's a guy that you can try that with. Joshua Braun, another guy kind of, fond of. Jaden Roberts, out of Alabama, just like he's physically what you want at the interior, and I think he'd be a solid guy as well. He's got some technique issues, but whatever. Like I trust this team to draft projects on at offensive line spots and develop them. I know that Cromer's not there anymore, but we've got Cromer's top assistant on the payroll now. He's running the show, and we brought in some other offensive line coaches to help out as well. So I trust that group to take care of that. But we got to get through this. Let's go over to Edge. Edge, I'm not a big Keldrick Falk fan, but the consensus around the league is he's a first round guy. Cool, whatever. Akeem Messidor, this is the one for me. You get him, Jesus, man. I mean, I don't even know if I can backflip, but I'll try. I'll try. I'll hurt myself, but I'll try if we were able to get him, because I just think he's a stud. I think he's going to be a double-digit sack guy, if not year one, year two, and continue to be a double-digit sack guy until he's, into his 30s. Malachi Lawrence, I like the player. I don't know if he fits necessarily with the Bills. Now that we're going to an odd from an even. Yeah, Jay Sean Barham. And listen, my man Jared put me on to him, to Barham. Yeah, he's a dog. And what I like about Barham is that you can move him from the edge you can move him off the ball, and he's fine. He's done it all. So the versatility there, I know that's something that the Bills have coveted for years. I don't know if the new regime is going to put the same emphasis on it like the last one did. But I got Cassius Howell. Listen, if you can get Cassius Howell in the second round, I'm with that. I'm not a fan of the arm length, but watching this guy, bro, he is freaking relentless. And even against the run, like the effort is there. It's not like R. Mason Thomas. Like, I'm sorry, R. Mason Thomas is not interested in defending the run. He's just not. Like, he's just not. And Cassius Howell is. He may get blown out of the play, whatever. But yep, his first step is crazy. And when he learns how to slow himself down just a bit, and counter inside, because tackles are, they're lining up and getting prepared to try to take that speed away. When he learns how to counter inside, my God, he's going to be a monster. He's going to be a monster. I think
a good comparison. Yeah,
really, really good player. Nick Benito.
Interesting comparison.
Yeah. I can see it. I can see where you get it from. I think somebody else. I think there's another comparison, but I'm gonna wait on that one because that guy's in the Hall of Fame. So I'm gonna wait. But I think Cassius Howell is gonna be really, really. And I was low on him because of the arm length, but man, you turn the tape on and that guy, he's like he's an animal, bro. He's an animal. And I mean that in a good way. Zion Young, Gabe Jacas, we talked about Barham, Joshua Josephs. I love these two guys here, Joseph and let me move it up here. These two guys here, Joseph and Romello Height, love them, and I think they're both going to be available in the third round. I love both of those guys. I think Romello Height's more of a project, and I think Joshua Joseph, I think he's like great value in round 3. Like if you can get him late second, round 3, that's great value. Great value. I think he's a really, really good player. Really good player. Mm-hmm. He's one of my favorites. Like Messidor's 1 for me. I would say Lawrence is 2. No, I'm not going to say Lawrence is 2. Howell's probably at 2 for me now. I got Joseph's, then like Lawrence, Barham. You know what? I'm not even going to front. Bro, like, if we get Malachi Lawrence, cool. If we don't, I'm cool with that too. I do think he's a good player, but I like these other guys a little bit more. Sorry. Day 3 guys, LT Overton probably makes more sense as like a 4 versus same thing with Tyreek Sapp. I put Mikael Kamara here because the Bills talked to him a couple of times. I think they had a top 30 visit with him or something like that. So, I mean, they're definitely interested in him. Max Llewellyn went to Iowa. That's why he's there. If you're going to draft defensive line, you probably, you can't really go wrong with Iowa guy. Defensive tackle, Kate McDonald. You guys know how I feel about him. Peter Woods, more of a 3-tech. I think he's a stud. And if we still had Sean McDermott, I think he's a guy that you go grab. But we don't. Caleb Banks, probably my favorite. I think Caleb Banks is great. I think he's great. He just made of glass. He's always hurt, and he's got a foot injury. So he'll slip out of the first round and end up in the second round, and somebody will grab him, and he'll be healthy, and he'll be a dog. Lee Hunter. And I still have a first-round grade on Caleb Banks because I think the talent is that level. Lee Hunter, Kristen Miller. Kristen Miller's up here twice. I don't know why.
You like them so much, you put them there twice.
Yeah, there you go. Grayson Halton and Zane Durant. I love Zane Durant, bro. Again, he's another one. If we were still running a base 4-3 or a base nickel, whatever, 4-2-5, but look, listen. If you told me, hey, we're gonna lose Ed Oliver, but you drafted Zane Durant, I'd be like, damn, it was great, man. Ed, you were great here, bro. I think Zane Durant's dope. I think he's amazing.
Zane Durant's my guy.
Yeah.
You know why.
Yeah, so Grayson Halton, Oklahoma, undersized, but I like the way he plays. Kristen Miller, run defender, stronger than he looks, more athletic than he's pretty athletic as well. Lee Hunter, just unmovable, bro. Just like he's going forward, and that's it. He's going forward. He's going to compress the pocket. He's a really good run defender, very smart, makes plays with his brain more so than his athleticism. Yeah, I like the day two guys a lot on the defensive tackle side. Day three, good players, but like they all got issues. Like for instance, DeMonte Capehart, Xavier Harris.
Albert.
They're crash outs. Those guys are like they got rap sheets.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Domestic violence. These are wild boys. They're wild. They wild out. Daryl Jackson is cool. He's 6'5", 330, I think, 325, something like that. Just plays a little high, and there's no back injury or anything like that. I don't think he's a great athlete either. He is mean. He's a mean guy. He's he's good against the run, but not terribly athletic. Just really long and problem is I just think he plays. He does play high sometimes. And, shorter interior offensive lineman may, get under his pads and kind of occupy him out of the play. Bryson Eason, I'm admit that I haven't looked into him a lot. People have told me that he was a target, so he's up here. Brandon Cleveland, same deal. Nick Barrett, dog. Nick Barrett. I don't care what his technique is. I don't care that he's 6'7", 6'6", whatever, 330 pounds. I don't care how high he plays. Teach him. I just teach him because he's very, very violent. Very violent. And he's quick off the snap. Multiple plays. I've watched the guys split. I watched him beat double teams to the spot. Kind of the way Ed does, kind of the way Dion does. I think if you get Nick Barrett, that's another guy from that same, like cut from like the same kind of cloth. Like they're always trying to make the play. So I like him a lot. Dominique Orange, aka Big Citrus. Love him. Inconsistent effort at times, but I do think the right spot and the right coaching staff will get the most out of him. Deontay Corleone, aka the Godfather, which probably will work out here well because Bills Mafia, Deontay Corleone. If we got him, that'd be pretty dope. You know, like we could figure something out.
Either that or the York team, right? One of the two, like
Yeah.
something like that would make some sense.
He gets to
too.
the Jets, it'd be perfect.
The Jets, it would be. Petey would appreciate that pick for sure, as we know our friend Petey.
He's got weight issues. He's got weight issues. I think he was like 360, 350 or something this year, which obviously took away from his speed and his play speed. Also, like guys, when a guy's like 6'1", 360, that can't be good for the knees. So, there's the issue with that. But I'd be happy with pretty much anybody from any combination of day 2 or 3 defensive tackles. Like if you get one of those guys, I've seen some silent crash outs at it. What is going to raise your blood pressure this year? If they draft Denzel Boston, bro, like if they draft Denzel Boston, I'm going to crash out. Not because I don't think Denzel Boston can play, but like, bro, he's literally a better receiver. He's like Keon Coleman, just a more polished version. That's really it. Like better with body control, better hands at the catch point. I think Denzel Boston's cool. I don't want to hear the crying from the fan base, bro. Like honestly, that's really what it is. But what would really piss me off is if they went cornerback in the first round. Like if they drafted like Colton Hood at like 26. Don't do this to me, man. You know what I'm saying? That would anger me if they did something like that. But let's move on to linebacker. Linebackers, CJ Allen. That's the only. I think he's the only guy, and I barely feel like he's a first round talent. You just can't ignore the athleticism. I think he's a back end of the first round guy. Mid to late 20s, 30s. If he's there, you take him. If you love him, that's that, man. 6'2", 6'3", whatever it is, 240 pounds, and he runs a 4.47. That's flying. So I'm all over that. Are the Lakers losing? No, it's Phoenix and OKC. Never mind. My bad. Where are we at? Okay, I got you. Where are we at? All right.
It says if he doesn't pick at least 3 of your picks, we'll at least crash it out like no one's ever seen. So be on the lookout. If you hear about a crash out in Philadelphia, you'll know what it is. Compliments.
I appreciate it, man. Look, all right, Jacob Rodriguez. I think he's the best fit for the Buffalo Bills. Good coverage, instinctual, finds the football, takes the football away. There's really not much to say. Like I think he's a really good player. Jay Golday, traditional Mike, inside backer, good size, good speed, good athleticism, all of those things. Solid in coverage. Just I like Jay Golday's cool. Like any of those guys. Not an Anthony Hill fan. No, not at 26. No. None of these guys. Like these guys in the yellow, bro. They're second round guys.
They're 91 range, but do you think we could get them at 91, or do you think that's just a little bit too?
No, some of these guys are not. Like Jacob Rodriguez will not be there at 91. I doubt Golday or Trotter is there at 91. I don't even know if Kyle Lewis will be there. Kyle Lewis is another one I like. Low undersized though. What is he like 5'11", 220, 225. something like that.
Yeah.
But like he's good though. Like, yeah, you're right. Like what Albert's saying, he manages to make the play.
Mm-hmm.
He is whatever. I thought Howard Perkins. I actually wouldn't mind if the Bills took a late round flyer on Howard Perkins out of LSU. Like I don't really think he has a true position outside of like being like a situational pass rusher / special teams guy, but who knows? Maybe he develops into something else. I don't know. Josiah Trotter, not great in coverage right now, but I mean his pops played in the league, so let's see. Deontay Lawson, really good coverage guy, solid athlete, not really good against the run. If offensive linemen are getting to the second level, he's getting washed, guaranteed. More often than not, he's getting washed. That's just what it is. Day 3 guys, Red Murdoch, Buffalo guy. I think he's a little undersized, not the best in coverage, but will find the football. I think he can contribute at the NFL level.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Aiden Fisher. Aiden Fisher's cool, solid player. Just I don't know. I think his floor is not that far away from this. I think the floor is not that far away from his ceiling. I just think he's probably more like Balin Spector and just not as injured.
Mm-hmm.
The other guys, like Eric Gentry, kind of stands out. Like Jack Kelly, really, I think Jack Kelly's a good athlete. And I got to get into his film a little bit more, but I think he's a good athlete. Eric Gentry is another one I'd like to see what he turns out to be. 6'6", 6'7", 221 pounds. So he's like light, like kind of skinny. But obviously in coverage, 6'7" wingspan is going to be difficult in the middle of the field to avoid. So that's a guy that, I don't know if we take a chance on that. But I wouldn't mind it. And he also plays high. Like he's 6'7", so of course he's going to play high. It's going to be difficult for him to get low with some of the guys that will be coming in to take him out of the play.
Mm-hmm.
All right, corner. Oh, Caleb Elarms Orr. I am not a fan at all. He is fast though. He's very fast, but that's like kind of it. Like he's a downhill linebacker who wants to chase the ball. I'm not the biggest fan. But if we took him, I ride out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback, D'Angelo Pons, he is a first-round talent. The problem is he's 5'9", barely. But he does make plays on the football. He does get breakups and things like that. He's a really good cover corner. He's just small. Keontae Scott, I think he's the second best on my list at corner. He's like 26 though. And when you're a corner, you know how that goes. He's 26. Yep. When you're a corner, it is what it is. He's got 4 years before you expect to see things go downhill. So that's why he's on day 2. Treydon Stukes, slot/safety, solid. I like him a lot. Really good player. Dalen Everett, boundary corner, good speed, good athlete. Every good receiver from the SEC has seen this guy, and he's held his own against them. He's gotten cooked a lot though. Like Like everybody's
Mhm.
highlight film seems like it has Dalen Everett in it. Every receiver that played Georgia seems like they have a highlight against this kid, but
Wow.
can't just watch the highlights. Got to watch the full games. This guy is
That's true.
starter. He's a starting level talent at cornerback, so I wouldn't mind the Bills grabbing him. Ephesians Prysock and Takario Davis, they are up here. Yeah, they're up here because they went to Washington, and Washington puts out good corners. I actually did watch Takario Davis' film. He's a solid player. I like Takario. I like Takario. If we grabbed him, I'd be happy. Jalen Husky out of Maryland. I think he's more of a slot / safety. So he's here. Not the greatest athlete, but instinctually well. Instinct wise, he's good. Damani Jackson. Yeah, he's an exceptional athlete. Exceptional. I think he ran like a 4.41 or whatever like that at the combine or something. And I don't know, it might have been his pro day. He really is like actually fast. He's probably like a 4.3 guy. I know he ran a 10-1 100. Yeah. So he's he's super fast, but just not interested in defending again. He's just not interested in doing the little things as far as in coverage and he put up there most cooked DB ever. Yeah, he was getting destroyed this year, bro. Last year wasn't a great year for him either, but he was getting destroyed this year for sure.
We've had our share of those guys over the years. We don't need another one.
Yeah. Andre Fuller from Toledo. Watch him today. I don't know. Not, we talked to him a lot. Zone corner. Good at keeping things in front of him. He makes the right plays. I can't hate on I don't mind it. Like if they take him, cool. If they don't, all right. That's where I'm at. Jaden Canada, slot corner out of Oregon. One of my favorite players in this draft. I think he can play on the outside. I think he is what we thought. What was that kid that we drafted from?
Dominique from Hardy or Hardy from Penn State?
Yeah, from Penn State. Daquan Hardy.
Daquan Hardy.
That's who Jaden Canada is.
Okay.
Kennedy. Yeah, he's who we thought that other guy was gonna be. He is that. Like he's the guy that you can put on the inside and out. Daquan Hardy. He's what we thought Daquan Hardy was going to turn into.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jaden Canada. I don't know how to say it. Canadian, whatever.
Canada, Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm
whatever.
with you. I'm not
not whatever, but listen.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, guys. I don't.
Hey, listen. You know what?
I want to butcher it.
If he's a Buffalo Bill, we'll figure it out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we'll figure it out if he gets drafted by us. If not, whatever. Especially if he goes to the Ravens. If he goes to the Ravens, he's dead to me.
Yeah, forget it. We'll just call him cooked by whoever Josh Allen.
Now I have free safety here, and it shouldn't be free safety. It should just be safety. That's what it should be. So we'll leave it at that. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, I like the player. I think he's more of a box guy, which is what Bishop is. So having both those guys, one of them's going to be playing in a position that they're not truly comfortable, but might be solid at. That's not what I want. This is just my list. I think he's a good player. I got him as a first-round talent. Yeah. I think he's a good player. Film's great. Instinctual, can cover, can run with guys and man, will come down and hit. Doesn't make a ton of mistakes in coverage. I like him. Dylan Dynaman, he's been my favorite safety for like 2 years since he was at Purdue. I don't think there are holes in his game. I think he's a perfect safety. If we can get him, that'd be awesome. I don't think we will. AJ Halsey, true. AJ Halsey, Zakee Wheatley, Genesis Smith. These are all basically the same guy. A true deep third, deep half, coverage safety. You put the ball up, those guys are going to get it. Those are these three guys. AJ Halsey, Zakee Wheatley, Genesis Smith. Now understand what that comes with. They are not they are not trying to come downhill, and they are not to be trusted coming downhill to take on the running back. In any situation where the running back is AJ Halsey, my number one player in this draft. What? Number one player over Caleb Downs after Sony Styles did what he did at the combine? Wow. That's
what? There we go. We got to get that on the board.
That's a hot
That's
take.
a smoldering hot take right there. There you go. I like it.
That take me need holy water, bro. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I like AJ Halsey a lot too. Really good size. What is he like? 6? I think he's 6. I think he's 6'2", 200, 6'1", 200, something like that. Wheatley's another one, good size. Like I like all of those guys. Kamari Ramsey, I'm cool. Like, good player. I don't think he's as good in coverage as the other three that I named. Genesis Smith, probably the worst tackler out of those second day guys, but really good in coverage, man. Like, I mean, covers a good amount of ground. Smart, will take the football away. Day 3 guys. I put Michael Taft there because, like, I don't know, man. I mean, I just feel like he's solid. Like, not great. He's like the white DeMar Hamlin. So, yeah, maybe
No,
not.
we don't need another one. We're good.
Yeah, you're right. Bud Clark, VJ Payne, good players. Cole Wisniewski, I like him because he's 6'4", 200 and some change, like 205, whatever. So, I mean, there's a ton of things you can do with that. 6'5", 6'4", you can throw him at, like, you can throw him in on dime. You know, if it's a pass situation, dime. You put him in at your linebacker spot and let him, roam the middle of the field or whatever. You can put him, as a dime backer on the inside and, let him run with tight ends or running backs or bigger receivers, whatever. He's the ultimate, like, chess piece. I like that. Like that guy. Robert Spears Jennings. He just ran a fast 40, and I think he went to Oklahoma. And our secondary's coach is from Oklahoma, so there's a possibility
There you go.
that he may end up in the Buffalo Bills uniform. I don't think he's that good, but there's a strong possibility that if we don't go get safety, if we don't go get one of these other guys ahead of him, very strong possibility that he ends up getting drafted and goes to the Buffalo Bills. And it's even more likely now because of the moves we made in the offseason. We're bringing in Geno Stone and CJ Gardner-Johnson. So this really is an opportunity to, like, bring a guy like that in and try to, like, cultivate his awareness, his safety awareness by having him play and practice with Geno Stone and CJ Gardner-Johnson. You hope one of those guys take him under his wing and he turns into something special that also runs like a 4.3. So at the safety spot. So I mean, if you can get that, you take it. But guys, we just went through 102 players, basically.
Amazing. That was epic.
We did that
Charts
in like
epic.
40 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was incredible. And, if any of you at home, if you're not primed for the draft right now, then I don't know what to tell you. This gives us everything to get ready for tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday. And again, we'll see. And again, I think the theme of the day is, look at Whittle only graded 12. I agree with Dog. Excellent work, Whittle. That is great work on that. And it really is. So 12 first round picks is really eye-opening to me. 12 first round grades. It really speaks to what this draft is about. And I see so many guys just in that yellow range. So it really goes to show you that ideally, the Bills trading down may be our best work. If we could, certainly pull that off. But I'm excited for tomorrow night as we get ready to kind of put a bow on draft eve tonight. And I just got one more thing left before we depart on this wonderful Thursday night. It's been depressing for me the last couple of days, Whittle. It's been tough. Once again, the professional team that placed on 33rd and 7th at a place called Madison Square Garden, once again, found a way to, S the bed, to be keep it a PG at this point.
Yeah.
Once again, the New York Knickerbockers found a way again to just not only just lose, but just put the dagger in the heart. That's what they do, right? It's not even the fact that we lose; it's the way we lose. And of course, Buffalo's been on fire for the Sabres. Tough loss last night, and I'm in the dumps. I'm really down in the dumps. But you know what happened last night? Something out of the corner of my eye, and I saw something that took place in Boston last night. And I don't know, it just kind of got the juices going. And Dog, ladies and gentlemen, the Sixers of all teams go in to Boston and save my sanity with a stunning win. So Whittle, are you concerned? Or you think it's just a blip on the radar?
I'm not concerned at all.
Okay. Yep.
I think that was listen, that when you're a team that shoots a lot of threes, you're gonna have some games where the three balls not falling. We shot 50 threes, and I think we hit 13 of them. So I just think that was a blip on the radar. I also think that some old habits that I don't like starting to creep back up. I think that Jason Tatum's offense fuels his defense, and I kind of wish it was the other way around, because I don't feel that way about Jaylen Brown. But listen, if the three's not falling, Boston is cooked. Like in most games, like they're going to be cooked, because that's how we generate offense.
That's what happened to you last year against us, right? Shot. Yeah, you just couldn't make a couple threes late one of those first two games. It's a whole
the issue last year was that Kristaps Porzingis had some mystery illness that didn't allow him to play to his capability. Drew Holiday had a groin injury, and then Jaylen Brown was playing with a torn MCL. But it is what it is, man. This year we're healthy. The Knicks are healthy. Hopefully, Boston takes care of business. The Knicks take care of business, so we see each other.
We'll see Atlanta. Atlanta's a nice young team. They got some good players on that team that I wasn't too aware of, but I still think the Knicks will find a way, but maybe a little tougher than we bargained for. So we'll see how that goes forward. Tomorrow night, huge sports night. Got Sabres and NFL draft. We got all kinds of stuff going on tomorrow night. Do the Celtics play tomorrow night too?
I think so.
Man, I don't even. Wow. There is just I need like 10 TVs tomorrow night. So we're gonna need a lot of. We're gonna have to get. Yeah, we're gonna have to have like 2 or 3 TVs with all. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have laptops up. We're gonna have all this stuff going tomorrow. So Thursday, Thursday. Celtics play Friday,
Oh, we play Friday. Okay.
so you don't have to worry
That's
about
smart.
the Knicks, Sabres, and Bills first round tomorrow. This could be wild. So it's gonna be something. So we'll see how it looks. By this time next week, we will have brand new players on the Buffalo Bills that we will really get into. For next week's show. So we'll discuss some things. I may have to join you via phone. I'll be driving up to San Francisco, but I'll try to join you
Okay.
a little bit for that draft. So I mean, for that pod, we'll figure some things out, and we'll go from there. But that's really all I had tonight, Whittle, on this Wednesday
All
night.
right, brother.
And
We're gonna have a few guests next week. I'm already
Yes.
confirming. We got a few guests next week, so we'll discuss the draft and discuss the rest of the league and how
Mhm.
we see the rest of the league shaping up after the
Yep.
draft.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much, everybody. Again, Dog, you're the best as always. I want to also really think Albert Scott really came strong tonight. So great stuff. And to all of you, student, student as always. It's great to see you, and so many others as well. So it was great to see Alex in here tonight and some others as well. So great stuff, Whittle. Let's go Bills, and let's have a great draft to see how Brandon Beane does. Host Sean McDermott will be very interesting to see how this all shakes out.
Enjoy the draft, everybody. Go Bills. Talk to you guys next week.
Go Bills.